What is up, boxing fans? Jordan Kurtz here alongside Art Petrosian coming to you live from Airtight Boxing at the Eclipse Event Center in Denver, Colorado. Art, how you doing tonight?
Good. How you doing, Jordan?
I'm doing great. We're here just to give you a quick little breakdown of a pre-show here for what is to unfold throughout the night here at the Eclipse Event Center. We've got a few pro bouts on the card as well as a multitude of amateurs who are going to be cutting their teeth here in the Airtight Boxing ring tonight. Now, in the main event, we have a matchup between a couple of experienced professional boxers. We have Gino, the Russian concussion Shvedov, who is taking on Joseph Quintana. Now, Gino Shvedov has had quite a bit of success in the boxing ring as of recent. He's taken on a guy who has multiple pro fights of experience. Gino is a fan favorite. He always brings a tremendous crowd here with a lot of energy to the Eclipse Event Center or any card that he's fighting on for that matter. And Gino's a guy who's just had a crazy journey throughout combat sports and martial arts, and he's fun to watch. Glad to see that he's over here running it in the main event, but he's got his hands full tonight with Joseph Quintana.
Definitely, man. And I remember watching Gino doing his thing in the MMA world, so it's exciting to see him make the transition to the boxing world and find that success in the ring. And apparently, he's 3-0, I believe, right now,
Yep.
with a couple finishes. So yeah, man, it looks like things are going well for him.
Certainly, yeah. Gino's had a tremendous amount of success again, like we say, so far in his professional boxing run. In the co-main event, we have a matchup between Jesus Teran taking on Isaac Johnson. Isaac Johnson, another guy who's been around the combat sports world for quite a long time now. Now, he is a guy who he's going to have his hands full tonight with a very tough, up-and-coming, rising prospect with a lot of steam behind his name in Jesus Teran. Now, again, sometimes though you have these game veterans and you think that this is a matchup that's looking to build one guy on one side of the matchup here, but those veterans have a lot of tricks up their sleeve.
Definitely, man. You can never sleep on a veteran, right? You see it happen all the time. They bring a prospect in to fight a veteran. He upsets the show, right? So you got to be on your toes, man. You got to take everybody seriously that steps into this ring.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then following that, just to round out another couple of matchups that we have going on the card, we have Dante Mendoza taking on Conrad Borquez. We've also got a couple of guys who they are very active within multiple different combat sports disciplines. You have Zach Lindsay, who has taken on Joachim Dever. Now, Zach Lindsay being a guy who he was a former college running back. He is the brother of Philip Lindsay, who was a standout star at the University of Colorado, as well as then with the Denver Broncos. He's taken on a very talented, undefeated MMA fighter in Joachim Dever. But this is going to be a matchup between two guys who are in a pretty similar spot as far as where they're at within their journey. Both very seasoned and experienced amateurs, and two bulls of athletes, just two very athletic, explosive young guys. And it's going to be a fun one to watch. I know that you could offer a little bit more on Joachim here.
Yeah, definitely, man. And with the Yakam obviously coming into this fight, this is something more the coaches want to test his striking, make sure that he's well rounded and doesn't have to rely on the grappling game, right? And this is a great test. He's going up against another solid MMA competitor who's actually found some success. He's currently 2-0 in the boxing world as an amateur, so this should be a great fight.
Certainly. Moving along from that, we've got David Garcia taking on Angel Ibarra. Now, another matchup, again, a couple of young guys who are rising up through and looking to get after in the process. You have Fernando Lopez taking on Buto Miranda. Now I'm butchering that name, so I'm sorry. I apologize for you on that one, my man. But another matchup there that you have a couple of guys who are going to go out there and look to put on a show in front of this crowd here that we have at the Eclipse Event Center off of Sheridan here in Denver, Colorado. Just running through a couple of more matchups here as we get through. We've got a couple more to talk about. We've got Miguel Ornales taking on Martin Delgado. You've got Juan Escobedo taking on Kitaro Cade. Kitaro Cade, a guy who he's been around the combat sports scene for
Yeah,
quite some time. Certainly had some colorful adversity to deal with,
de-
especially when it relates to some commission sanctioned vacations, if you will. Not
definitely.
to go too far into the thick of things there. But then rounding out a couple of the fights here on the undercard, you have Fabian Beltran taking on Gabe Cisneros. You have Juan Marrero taking on Juan Santiago. And then opening up the card, you have another guy familiar to the scene, younger brother to Zach Lindsay. You have Marcus Lindsay. He's another big, strong, athletic kid who's going to be taking on Kyle Romero to open up the card here.
Yeah.
Now, Art, just again, as we round out the card here and talk things, what is something that you're looking forward to seeing most tonight?
Man, honestly, this being my first airtight boxing event, man, I'm just here to enjoy the show, but I'm really looking forward to the Joachim Dever versus Zach Lindsay fight. That's going to be a great one for both guys to test themselves. So, but like you said, a lot of great fights on the card. So, man, excited for the show.
Absolutely. Folks, we thank you so much for tuning in along with us here from this pre show for Airtight Boxing at the Eclipse Event Center. We'll be on with the card unfolding here in just a few moments as things get underway. I'm Jordan Kurtz, joined here alongside Art Petrosian.